Welcome to Adhiyaman Metric Higher Secondary School, Uthangarai. And today, 10th English, Unit 7, Prose, The Dying Detective of Part 3. So, last part 2, we will discuss Holmes requested Watson to bring Mr. Culverton Smith to treat him for his sick. So, now let's see the followed. I will bring him in a cab, I said. No, you will persuade him to come and return before him. Make any excuse. Remember this, Watson? So Watson asked to Holmes, I will bring him in a cab. Cab means taxi. So I will bring him in a cab. I said. Holmes replied, no, you will persuade him. You will just go to say to come here and return before him, and you will return before him to our home. Make any excuses. So to say any some other reasons, you just come before him. You just persuade, go and say to come. Remember this, Watson. So you just remember this, you just come before. So this concept has confused Watson. So why he just uh, told me to come before? And let's see then another passage. I saw Mrs. Hudson was waiting outside. So when I came out of Holmes' house, in outside Mrs. Hudson was trembling and crying because Sherlock Holmes had a severe fever. She felt that's why he just trembling and crying below, and below the home he just on the road as waited for the cab. So cab means taxi. Here the cab is waiting. That place I met Inspector Morton of Scotland Yard. He was not in his uniform. I met there Mr. Morton. He is an inspector of police of the Scotland Yard. So he was not in his uniform. So he was now Motti. So he is not in uniform. How is he? Asked Inspector Morton. He is very ill, I answered. So after met Mrs. Hudson, so Watson came to the road. There Inspector Morton is there. He is asked to Watson, how is Sherlock Holmes? I replied he was very ill. And then so after met Mr. Morton, and then he reached Mr. Culverton Smith house. I reached Mr. Culverton Smith's house. The butler appeared at the doorway. Through the half-open door, I heard a man's voice telling the butler, I am not at home, say so. I pushed past the butler and entered the room. I saw a frail man with a bald head sitting. I am sorry, I said, but the matter cannot be delayed, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. I reached Mr. Culverton Smith house. The butler is one of servant of Smith house, appeared at the doorway. He just come to the doorway. So through the half open door, he just open half door. Inside, I heard a man voice. The man voice, who is the man voice? Is the Smith voice telling the servant what he telling. Smith telling, I am not at home. So this is the main thing. Smith doesn't want to meet anyone. Okay, so I am not at home, says so. So then I pushed past the butler. I just entered the room. So Watson entered the room, pushed butler servant. So he just go, Watson go inside the room. He saw a frail man. Frail means weak. A weak man with a bald head sitting. Bald means off her head. So he is sitting. So I said, I am sorry because of just pushing the servant to come inside the room. So I said sorry, but the matter cannot be delayed. So I just come for an important message. So that's why I came here like this. So I started with the name Mr. Sherlock Holmes. So when I mentioned the name of Sherlock Holmes, the mere mention of his name had a different effect on the man. Have you come from Holmes? How is he? He asked. So when I started to mention the name, I Watson had saw a different effect on the Smith's face. He just acting like differently. He just asked, "Have you come from Holmes? You just come from Holmes? How is he?" He just asked, "How is he?" I replied to the Smith. Watson replied to the Smith, "He is very ill. So that is why I have come. Mr. Holmes has a high opinion of you and thought you are the only man in London who can help him." The little man was startled. "Why?" he asked. So I just explained. Watson just explained to Smith, "Mr. Sherlock Holmes is very ill, so that's why I come here. So Mr. Holmes, I have a high confidence on you. So you are the only man can cure this disease in London. So you just come and help the Sherlock Holmes." So when the news heard by Watson, so the Smith was startled. Startlement shocked. He just asked why. He asked. So he just in a better condition. So now he is sickness. So Smith had also a surprised. So why he asked Mr. Smith, and then Watson explained, "Because of your knowledge of the Eastern diseases." I replied, "How did he get it?" he asked. I told him everything. He smiled and agreed to come, pretending that I had some other appointment. So look at the passage, dear students. So Watson just explained why he called you, because of your knowledge, but because of your treatment of Eastern disease. So look at the word Eastern is Sumatra Island. So this is come from there. So he is the knowledge. So he is the man only can cure. So I replied, Watson replied. So then Smith asked, "How did he get it the news?" So how did he get it? I can cure this disease. So Watson told him everything, told him Smith everything. So Smith smiled and agreed to come, pretending, just escaping that I had some other appointment. So when Smith agreed to come, Watson suddenly explained uh, to say excuses, and just before him, he just come to the Sherlock Holmes before. Okay, after that, Smith come to the Sherlock Holmes. Okay, now I left him. I left him means Watson left Smith house to come to Sherlock Holmes. With a sinking heart, I reached Holmes' room. Now you just return to the Holmes' room with a sinking heart, because sinking is a kind of suffering because of his friend is got fever. So that is the singing. I told him. So after coming to the Sherlock Holmes home, he told him that Smith was coming. So Smith has coming, just in 10 or 5 minutes he told everything to Sherlock Holmes. So Sherlock Holmes replied to Watson, "Well done, Watson," he said. "You have done everything that a good friend could do. Now you disappear to the next room and don't speak or come here." So next surprise to the Watson, what the Sherlock Holmes replied. "You have done everything that a good friend could do." So a good friend can do anything. So you also did something for you is a best. So now you disappear to the next room. That was the surprise to Watson. Why? Uh, Holmes requested me to disappear to the next room. He just hide to the next room, and don't speak or come here. You don't come here and don't speak. You just waiting what was happening here after Smith coming. So this is the explanation of Holmes, and Smith also surprised. So Watson, so many surprising he had, because in the beginning stage he just coins into the watch pocket and then put in trouser and some tables and letters. The lamp is off lighting. So here Holmes wants to Watson to disappear in the next room. He told me that don't speak. So these are all the things are confused or surprised by Watson. What will happening next here there? I heard the footsteps. So after 5 or 10 minutes, Watson heard the footsteps. I heard a voice say, "Holmes, Holmes, can you hear me?" "Is that you, Mr. Smith?" Holmes whispered. "You know what is wrong with me. You are the only one in London who can cure me. So this passage, after Watson disappeared in the next room after 5 or 10 minutes, here not mentioned. So after some times and Smith came, he just asked Holmes, Holmes, can you hear me? And Sherlock Holmes replied, is that you, Mr. Smith? You are the Mr. Smith? Holmes whispered, and he explained, you know what is wrong with me. So this is my sickness. You know that my friend Watson explained you what was happened to me. You are the only one in London who can cure me. So you are the only man in London, you cure the disease. So Holmes explained. Here, students, you just understand now. Culverton Smith is outside of the room. The Sherlock Holmes is inside of the room. The room was very dark, a little bit of light, off lightened lamp is only there. So Mr. Culverton Smith doesn't saw clear face of Sherlock Holmes. Okay, right. Do you know the symptoms? Culverton Smith asked to Sherlock Holmes, do you know the symptoms? Asked Smith. Only too well, Mr. Smith, and he described the symptoms. So Holmes described all the symptoms, the flushed cheeks, and then trembling hands and severe fever. He just explained all the symptoms. So, and then Smith said, they are the same, Holmes. Smith said, so they are the same. Though your symptoms is correct, the same symptoms are to came for my poor Victor was a dead man on the fourth day, a strong and healthy young man. So this is the twist come of the story, the poor Victor. So poor, this Victor is name of a man. He is a nephew of Culverton Smith. Culverton Smith murdered Victor to using like this disease. So after 4 days, the fourth day of his sickness, Victor, so he had died. So this is the reason. So because Victor is murdered by Culverton Smith doing like this disease, so this is the reason Sherlock Holmes want Mr. Culverton Smith. Okay, right. Poor Victor was a dead man on the fourth day. So he getting the disease on the fourth day. A strong and healthy young man. He was died. Okay. What a coincidence indeed. I know that you did it, said Holmes. Oh, what a coincidence. The same symptoms have been me also. So I know that you did it. I think you can did it that because the same disease you can spread me also. So this is the same symptoms for me. So that only I want you to the you are the only man can cure me. Okay. Next. Well, you can't prove it. Give me water, please. Holmes groaned. And then Holmes groaned means in painful words, give me some water, please. So you just Sherlock Holmes tried Culverton Smith to enter the room. Here, I heard Smith's voice. Cure me, please. Well, about Victor Savage's death, you did it. I will forget everything, but cure me, I will forget about it. So Culverton Smith understands Sherlock Holmes knew all the things. Culverton Smith is a murderer. He find out the same also. He, Mr. Culverton Smith understands. So Sherlock Holmes knew everything. So here I heard Smith's voice. Now Sherlock Holmes wanted cure me, please. Well about Victor Savage's death. I know Victor Howell's death. I know very well. You did it. You killed it. You murdered it, Victor. I know. I will forget everything. So, but cure me. So I am the same sickness. So I can't arrest you. So please help me to cure this disease. I will forget about. I just forget all the thing. And then Culverton Smith replied, you can forget or remember just as you like. It doesn't matter to me how my nephew died. Watson said you got it from the Chinese alias. Could there be any other reason? Culverton Smith suddenly replied, you can forget or remember. So that is not a matter to me. That is, it does not matter to me how my nephew died. Here, nephew refers to Victor. So I killed him. You are the same symptoms. You will forget how I killed Victor. Okay, that is your wellness, your wish. That is so you have no problem. Watson came to me and said you have got the disease from the sinus Chelius in the Rother Haiti, a place. So you just go for the investigation. That is the place you just got this disease. Could there be any other reason? If any other reason you have, he just asked to Sherlock Holmes. I can't think. My mind is gone. Help me, pleaded Holmes. So Holmes pleaded, requested Mr. Culverton Smith to just come inside and cure me. So I don't know because my mind is gone. I am in death, dying condition. So please help me. I will forget your murder. Did anything come by post? A box by chance on Wednesday. So Culverton Smith againly asked a question. Do you anything by post? Do you anything received by courier? A box, a ivory box, a like thing on Wednesday. You just received anything? Calverton Smith asked. Okay, so listen, students. Here the ivory box. The when whoever opened the sliding lid, inside the box, like kind of a spring knife came to outside. So when we touch the knife or the knife, when we touch the knife uh, replying the diseases is inside the knife. Okay, when we touch that, the disease spread that. Okay, right. Yes, on Wednesday I received a ivory box. The ivory box is there. I opened it. I just opened it. There was a sharp spring is knife inside it. A joke perhaps. It drew blood. I just touched it. The drew blood. So many bloods are flowing, said Hobbes. No, it was not a joke, you fool. You have got it. Yes, it's not a joke. Here, Smith explained to Holmes how he killed Victor. It's not a joke, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. This is your disease comes from the knife. Like this, I killed Victor. You have got it. You have got it means you understand all, and you also got the disease. Who asked you to cross my path? So Calverton Smith openly asked to Sherlock Holmes, why you have asked my craft, why you have find out my problem. You knew too much about Victor's death, so you know Victor How's death. On this fourth day, you also died. I can't do anything. Your end is near. Here, Calverton Smith told to Sherlock Holmes, your end is near. So these all kind of activities are heard by Watson in the next room. So Watson understand now what was going on. So Mr. Culverton Smith killed his nephew Victor. So Sherlock Holmes once finds that right. Holmes, I will carry this box in my pocket, the last piece of evidence. So Culverton Smith finally explained. So I take this box to myself because this is the only evidence for you when I killed the Victor and you. Okay, right. Turn up the gas, Smith, said Holmes in his natural voice. Yes, I will, so that I can see you better. There was silence. Here, the climax begin. Sherlock Holmes requested Culverton Smith to come inside the room and just turn up the gas. So Holmes requested in natural voice, not in a sick voice. He just in natural voice. Smith replied, "Yes, I will, so that I can see you better." So in a dark room, I can't see you before. After he just lighting the lamp, turn up the gas. He want to see his face clearly. So there was a silence. So he just come and just uh, just open the gas. Then I heard Smith say, "What's all this?" When the lamp is brightened and finally see Smith what was doing, what was there in the house. There was a near near the ivory box on the table and some letters. So the room is ready for arrest the Culverton Smith because Sherlock Holmes already prepared so many things on that. Successful acting, said Holmes, and Holmes replied in a natural, so successful acting, said Holmes. For 3 days I didn't taste anything, neither food or drink. So I am not in a sickness. Okay, I am in a normal man. Before 3 days I can't drink or eat anything because why I did like because of you because I arrested you. So that is the reason I have to do this. So there were footsteps outside. After 5 seconds, there's so many footsteps out there. The door opened. I heard Inspector Morton voice. Do you understand, students? So when Watson started to go to Smith House, he met a Morton on the road. Okay, now he Martin, he is not in uniform. I think you understand now why he is not in uniform. So after Smith came to Sherlock Holmes' house, Martin entered the Sherlock Holmes room and arrested Mr. Culverton Smith. Right. The door opened and I heard Inspector Morton's voice. I arrest you on charge of murder, he said. And finally, Morton comes and said, I arrest you in charge of murder, the victor, to doing like to using the ivory box for to spreading the disease. If so, let me bring Sir Jasper Meek or Penrose Fisher or Holmes. There was a sudden rush of scuffle, followed by the clash of iron and a sudden cry of pain. There was a click of handcuffs. So many policemen are came there and arrested to using handcuff Mr. Culverton Smith. Holmes asked me to come in. So after arrested Culverton Smith, uh, Holmes requested to come Watson to this room and explained what was going there. Sorry, Watson, I was rude to you. I was rude to you means I was doing different behavior to you. I undermined your capability as a doctor. I know you are a doctor, but you are undermined. Because why are you undermined means for this arresting of Culverton Smith because he murdered Victor doing like this. It was just to get Smith here. So this all acting for the only thing just Smith get here for his arrest. And I didn't want you to know that I was not ill. So that is the reason I didn't want you to know. So I am in normal or better. Watson and confused. So if you want to arrest Mr. Smith, but your appearance is very weak, what was doing that? Because you have no sickness, but your health is very weak. But your appearance, I said, 3 days fasting and the makeup did the trick. So 3 days fasting, I just doing my health like this. So because Calvert Smith and you and all of you should believe I am in sickness. So that is the main thing to arrest the Culverton Smith. The coins, oh, that was the only to prove that I was delirious. He laughed. So you just asked the coins to put into watch pocket. What was the reason? So Sherlock Holmes replied, so that was the only to prove that I was delirious. Delirious means I just I just confused what was doing. So I just confused you. So really I am in sickness to believe for. So after so many discussions, I need to eat now. So last 3 days I didn't eat for arrest Mr. Culverton Smith. So I need to eat now, Watson. Mr. Smith killed his nephew and he wanted to kill me the same way to avoid imprisonment. So Mr. Smith killed the victor his nephew and the same way he tried to kill me with using ivory box. So that's the reason you when you touch the ivory box I just said put it down, you know that understand you why this did this for Mr. Culverton Smith is to avoid imprisonment, to going prison. I need to eat now, Watson. So Sherlock Holmes requested Watson, I need to eat now because I am very hungry. And finally, I think that something nutritious. So Sherlock Holmes suggested a place at Simpsons. So Simpsons is a place or a hotel. So there is a good food there. You just go there. Would not be out of place. You have some coins in your watch pocket. You just go to this place and buy some food, nutritious foods for me at Simpsons. And thank you, Watson, he said. And finally, Sherlock Holmes thanks Watson to bring Mr. Culverton Smith here. So so he thanked to the Watson, and Watson finally understood all the things for what was going in Sherlock Holmes. So Mrs. Hudson also understood why the Sherlock Holmes uh, are doing like this. So and finally, Mr. Culverton Smith arrested for Victor's murder. So this is the detective of Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes tried to find out the criminals in a different way. So he just made him as a sick man doing 3 days fasting. So this is a different type of find out the criminals. So thanks for watching.